When I talk about the upcoming Google Pixel Fold, there are plenty of reasons to potentially be excited about this device, right? You can be excited about the camera, you can be excited about that landscape by default foldable screen, but there's one thing that I am extraordinarily excited about, and it might be for some one of the most mundane aspects of this device, and I can kind of explain it by talking about something that happened to me yesterday and also the day before as well. We've been spending a lot of time out and about walking one of my dogs and so forth. And while I'm doing this, I was actually daily driving, once again, my Microsoft Surface Duo 2. And there was a particular problem that was consistently arising and driving me a little bit crazy about that device. Imagine for me, if you will, that I am walking down a trail with a leash in one hand. I would like to get my phone out of my pocket to do whatever it was I was going to do with my phone. Then I must do that with one hand. Well, with Surface Duo, this is very, very difficult, right? You pull it out of your pocket and now you're here with one hand. How do you go from here to here with one hand? It's not very easy at all. So you're kind of putting the leash under an arm or something and folding the phone around. And now you're in this position. And yes, you could leave it in your pocket like this, but that's not something I like to do. But even still at that point, you're trying to one-hand this device. And this is just not a very easy to one-hand device because it is so flipping big. It's so wide. I love the wide aspect ratio. Do not get me wrong. When you're using it with two hands, I love that real estate. But with one hand, it's just huge. It's a massive phone, and it became really, really annoying to use, and especially if I wanted to take a picture of something. Now I'm in this situation trying to take a picture or a video with one hand. Just not a great scenario at all. It annoyed me so much that when I got home after that second day, I put my SIM back into my Z Fold 4. Which obviously has one massive advantage. I can pull this thing out of my pocket and unlock it with one hand and use it just like this, and that's going to work a lot better. However, this device is not quite perfect at this either because while it has some advantages, it's very narrow, which means that I can very easily reach all the way across this screen. I cannot reach anywhere near the top because it is so just preposterously tall. And I know that there's one-handed mode. I can swipe down and pull things down, and that's absolutely a viable thing for some people. I just don't like it. I don't like using software for something like that. One, I forget that it's there. Two, I struggle with it. I have to swipe down multiple times to get it to work. It's just not something that I enjoy using. I would much prefer to have a device whose cover display is just a reasonable size for one-handed use. And that is one of, if not the biggest reasons I am excited about the Google Pixel Fold. When you look at the Pixel Fold, the fact that it opens up into a landscape orientation means that therefore when it is closed, it is going to be much shorter and wider than what we have on something like the Pixel Fold. Something that approximates using an S23 Ultra with the top inch or so of the screen effectively cut off. And I believe this is going to make it a far easier to one-hand type of device. Of course, I have shown you in a couple of videos this case for the Pixel Fold that I ordered from AliExpress like a month ago, and I think that it does a decent enough job of approximating what that phone is going to look like in the hand, and I do believe that it's going to be the case. I believe it's going to be a really nice balance for one-hand ability. It should be just wide enough that I can still reach across the screen with only a slight shift in my grip, as well as reaching the top of the screen also with only a slight shift of my grip being necessary. Nothing that's going to make it too awkward or too crazy. If I'm walking my dog, I ought to be able to pull this thing out, unlock it, and access the full screen without too much trouble, and I am just so excited for that to be the case. And I actually think that there are going to be some really nice accessories to make this even easier. My favorite case/grip accessory for my S23 Ultra was this Aramid fiber case from Thinborn that was MagSafe compatible. So you've got this MagSafe grip I can pop onto the back of it. Of course, the case is extremely thin. You're not adding a whole lot of bulk at all to the device, and it makes that thing so much easier and so much better to use with one hand because it is so tall. I plan on doing the exact same thing with the Pixel Fold, which I think is going to take it way over the top in terms of that one-hand ability. And again, It's just something I'm really, really looking forward to. A device that can be a tablet, but can also be a phone that isn't just awkwardly shaped. I feel like phones have gotten to this really weird place where even normal phones are so massive that someone like me that hates using big, bulky cases at all has been forced to find solutions, whether it's that MagSafe thing or grips that stick onto the back, pop sockets and things like that that I don't really want to use, but I feel like I have to because phones have gotten so preposterously big. And when you're talking about foldables, they might not be as big in all dimensions, like the Z Fold, which is quite narrow, but it's really, really tall, and that counts as being big to me as well. So the Pixel Fold kind of shirking that trend and giving us what is effectively a small phone that opens up into a landscape tablet puts it way over the top for me. Guys, what do you think about this? Is this something that's exciting to you? Are you irritated by how large phones have gotten? Are you looking forward to having a mini phone that opens up into a tablet, giving you truly the best of both worlds? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe for more content just like this. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.